Well, once again, this is Wild Weather here for LiveWeatherBlogs.com. They're starting off into the mid-40s here in Washington and Baltimore, low 40s Philadelphia, and 40 degrees here in New York City. You can see the warm air hanging along the coast and somewhat colder air inland, and much colder air behind the cold front, which is lying right about here. You can see some warming trying to come up in front of it. 30 degrees now in Detroit, and that is the same in Chicago. But as you get north and west of Chicago toward Green Bay and further north and west up into Minnesota, the below zero air from Canada is starting to leak down across the border here again. So you get the idea that there is a ridge starting to build out here. You got the downsloping winds down here causing this, the Chinook winds, 48 degrees up here in Montana. That's pretty warm. But below zero air is moving southeastward, and it's behind a pretty potent upper level low that is going to swing off to the east. There could be some snow showers and flurries here in central Pennsylvania. This will work toward the coast. Maybe some dusting amounts tonight later on after, say, about 7, 8, 10 o'clock. And I'll show that on the radar in a moment. Let's go to Intellicast.com. You can see here's the upper level energy here, and it's going to swing off in this general direction, and a cold front will swing through. Last cold front stuck down here in Florida. We'll wait, and reinforcing this front will then kick out. Some snow showers and flurries may develop here in central and western Pennsylvania and then move east in time this evening. You can see the ridge action coming up here, and you can see the snow breaking out as the warm air tries to come up and over the top of some very cold below zero air now in the upper Midwest. So the warm air coming in off the Pacific is going up and over the top of the cold dome that's in place. Chinook winds are taking place, but a ridge is starting to develop on the west coast here, and we're going to show you that in a moment. Let's take a look at some of the current temperatures again. Below zero here. Here is the ridge. Everything going up and over the top and coming down. Chinook winds here. Let's just go to the satellite. This is all from hamweather.com. I often like the water vapor map, 24-hour loop. And here's your 24-hour loop of the water vapor map. Here's the storm from earlier in the weekend is gone. Return flow coming up. You can see the subtropical jet play here. There's subtropical jet here, and another one in here. Here's a front that's blowing off the coast. Another one coming. Here's your upper level energy, and then the cold air swooping down behind it out of central Canada. You get the idea that there's a little bit of a ridging going on out here, but more troughiness is coming in for now. So in the meantime, the real cold air that's up here is going to be locked up there, but you can see little pieces breaking off every once in a while, and that may be a key player for next week to see what happens with a storm that may come up the coast. You get the idea that this energy is going to start plowing down toward the Gulf of Mexico, and it could pop a storm up the east coast come Friday and Saturday of next week. You can see that flow is generally south-southwesterly aloft, but also the cold air is starting to come down from Canada. With that said, let's go to currents again. I want to go up to Alaska because the cold air is just tremendous. Look at this, 62 degrees below zero, 60 to below. Most of all of Alaska now below zero, but 60 and 62 below. These are the current temperatures. These are not wind chills, folks. Pretty cold air there, and you're going to see if it's coming over into Canada, and it is. Get the idea. The cold air, the main portion of it is up here. There's more cold air here. You get the idea that the ridging going on, flow coming down this way. You get the idea that some of the cold air is starting to drain down. We'll see how this cold air plays out. The pressures up here really aren't all that high. I'll show you that right now. The pressures aren't really all that high where it is really cold. You would think that would be 31 inches of mercury, but 30.20 or so up in this way, 30 with 62 below air is pretty impressive, folks. So 62 below, some of this cold air, as you can see, is sneaking down across the Great Lakes behind this upper level low that's going to eject out. But before we get into any wintry weather next weekend, we're going to have to contend with this warming that's going to be going on and probably push 60-65 degrees on Wednesday in the east. Let's go to other places in the world here. North Asia. I've been looking at this area along with Alaska and Canada, and the cold is much, much more widespread. Earlier in the year, it was just concentrated in this area, but the cold air is spreading out east to west. For instance, down here in Moscow, it's in the single digits and this area was well above normal all through much of November, December into early January up to about a week and a half ago. Now temperatures generally 0 to 5 by day and below 0 at night. So you get the idea that the cold is starting to envelop some of the more parts of the northern hemisphere. And as we go back to the satellite, what does that mean down the road? And you look worldwide, and what I can theorize is the fact that the undulations in the jet stream are going to be becoming more amplified, if you would, and we're going to start getting rid of this dreaded zonal flow, where cold air is going to try to come south, warm air is going to try to come north. It's typical. It's a typical thing you see in February, where the southern climates are starting to warm as the sun angles coming north, causing more warm air to head north and more cold air to head south. It's just that simple, folks, and that's why I think going into February here, especially over the next 3 weeks, I think you're going to start seeing some major undulations in the jet stream, and that may cause really interesting weather to start occurring, at least in more parts of the United States than we are seeing now. So you get the idea. It's a south-southwesterly flow up here along the east coast. Eventually, some of this energy here might dive down to the Gulf of Mexico, form a storm, and we might get something to come up the east coast by next weekend. All speculation right now, but we'll keep an eye on the models. The latest GFS is coming in. Some model runs want to take a storm, develop it in the southeastern straits and move it this way. Other models are holding back the energy a little bit more, and here I'm running it this way. Big difference in terms of solutions for what may or may not occur here in the mid-Atlantic and up into the northeast. Right now, it would appear, though, that even though 60-65 degrees may seem likely on Wednesday, there may be some major storm coming along. Whether it be rain or snow, right now it's probably 50-50. We'll just have to wait and see how that goes. Again, with the NAO not, very negative, you need a perfect track off a subtropical jet, probably something like this, to get the big snows in the cities. That's all I have for today. I'll have an update later on as new model information comes on. Again, looking for a winter storm maybe come up Friday into Saturday by next weekend. Just speculation right now, but I can see how things are changing, and the cold air up north is reloading. So enjoy the warmth for the early part of this week. Be colder tomorrow. Snow flurries and snow showers tonight. Maybe 0.2 to zero point 0.7 inches of snow tonight. Dusting, if you would. Something to get excited about. But we'll keep our eyes on Friday into Saturday. That's all I have for today. This is LiveWeatherBlogs.com's Wild Weather. Have a great day.